hugged myself, my stomach turning, and saw Jet studying the photograph.
I don't think they're genetically related. Their features are too different.
I see what you mean. Good eye. Of course, that makes sense coming from you. You know, I can't tell which of the second generation is related to Nolan and Marie. They both look too different as well.
There are things like recessive genes and whatever, right? Unusual features popping up?
Not usually to this extent. The bone structure, set of the eyes.
Kai snapped a picture of the photo with his phone, presumably to ruminate over more later.
They might have taken Marisol someplace that their own kids go to, right?
Maybe. See if you can find anything about lessons they take or even what school they go to. We searched through both of the kids' bedrooms and turned up nothing but clothes, books, and evidence that they were at least allowed electronic devices, as there was a charging cable plugged in next to one of the beds. Nothing even indicated what the kids' names were. We stepped back into the hall. My skin was creeping. I don't like this. Everything about these people just seems to get worse and worse. How can we protect their own kids from them?
Rescuing your sister comes first. Then we'll worry about the rest. Hell, if we blow up all the adult Gaunts, someone else will have to adopt the kids.
Is that the plan now? We're looking to turn them into human dynamite?
After seeing this place, I don't think I'd trust a simple bullet to do the trick.
He might have had a point there.
Huh. This is pretty funny.
Ruin was in one of the rooms farther down the hall. We all hustled over to join him. He was standing in a bedroom clearly used by adults, with a classy sleigh bed and matching furnishings in dark wood. On the vanity, next to a jewelry box, stood a vase full of dried bulrushes. Ruin was leaning close. He gave an audible sniff and glanced at the rest of us.
I swear they're from our marsh, too.
I'd imagine all marsh vegetation smells pretty similar.
Knox bent in to take a whiff.
I don't know. We were steeping in that stuff for more than 2 decades. It does smell awfully familiar.
What other marshes are around here anyway?
They probably bought it from the pottery barn or someplace because they thought it was pretty.
I don't think that's the weird part. I motioned to a portrait hanging on the wall on the other side of the room. The oil painting showed a couple who appeared to be middle-aged, but they didn't look like Nolan and Marie, or the photos I'd seen of Thomas and Olivia. The man had a bulbous nose that would have been unmistakable if I'd seen it on anyone else, and the woman had a bit of a cleft chin. Who the heck are they? And why do the Gaunts have their portrait hanging in their bedroom?
Distant ancestors?
Their clothes aren't that old-fashioned. I'd say those are 40s era. 1940s, that is, not 1840s or something.
I guess they could be grandparents or great-grandparents, but that explanation didn't sit totally right. Maybe it was just the way the painted figure's eyes seemed to follow me when I walked back out of the room. There's nothing around that tells us anything about what they've done with Marisol.
We have a few new leads I can follow up on.
Ruin was now in another bedroom.
We know they really love marshes.
I stepped in after him and saw what he meant. This was clearly the main master bedroom, presumably where Nolan and Marie slept. There was a faint, crisp scent of cologne lingering in the air that made me think of the imposing man who'd laughed at my magical display. But what drew my attention were the vases on either side of the sprawling California king bed. They didn't fit in with the rest of the decor at all, really. They were too untidy, too wild. Both of them were stuffed full of reeds and bulrushes that did look as if they'd been plucked right out of the marsh where I'd nearly drowned 14 years ago.